The gym opens early that morning. It is not yet 9 a.m., but the sound of metal already fills the space. Dumbbells collide, barbells slide along the racks. Heavy breathing reflects off the mirrors. This is one of those places where size speaks before words, where strength is measured in numbers, where respect has weight. The smallest man here weighs more than 100 kilograms. Broad shoulders, dense arms, bulging veins, bodies built to occupy space. Every repetition is performed in front of the mirror not only for correction, but for confirmation. The hierarchy here is clear. Whoever lifts more is in charge. The gym door opens. Bruce Lee enters without haste. He does not draw attention with noise. He draws it by contrast. A simple t-shirt, dark trousers. A dry, compact body, just over 60 kilograms. He does not look around for approval. He walks as if he already knows where he is. Several glances rise, first out of curiosity, then with smirks. One man interrupts his set midway and sits on a bench, watching. Another puts his dumbbell on the floor. A third crosses his arms. There is no direct hostility. There is something worse. Calm contempt, the confidence that this body does not belong in this place. Someone comments quietly, someone laughs. It is not cruelty. It is the laughter that appears when something seems out of place, like a child trying to play among adults. Bruce ignores it. He places his small bag on the floor, moves to a free corner, and begins to warm up. Slow circular movements, shoulders, hips, knees. Nothing that would impress those accustomed to lifting tons. To them, it looks like a waste of time. A few minutes pass. Bruce stands up and approaches the dumbbell rack. He does not take the light ones, not the medium ones. He immediately reaches for the heaviest ones on the bottom row. One of them draws attention. 75 pounds, a weight few here use for controlled movements, let alone for static holds. One man notices this and straightens up. Another says out loud that it is not a toy, that the shoulder does not forgive mistakes, that this weight is not for someone of his size. His tone is not aggressive, but patronizing, like a warning to someone about to injure himself. Bruce hears it and does not respond. He takes the dumbbell in his right hand, briefly checks the weight, feels the center of gravity, sets his feet, inhales through his nose. The gym gradually falls silent. He lifts the dumbbell to hip level and then begins a lateral raise. Slowly, under control, without momentum. The arm rises past 30 degrees, 40, 50. Some smiles disappear. 60, 70. The dumbbell does not shake. The body does not sway. There are no grimaces, no brute force, only structure. When the arm reaches a perfect shoulder line parallel to the floor, there is complete silence in the gym. The dumbbell stops. It does not rise higher. It does not lower, it remains. 5 seconds, 10, someone swallows. 15, 20. The men around begin to shift, feeling discomfort. This does not fit their logic. Shoulders of that size should not hold that weight like this, without jerking, without cheating. 25 seconds. Bruce continues to breathe through his nose. His face remains neutral. The arm is motionless. 30 seconds. Then, with the same control with which he lifted the weight, he lowers the dumbbell and places it on the floor without impact, without extra noise. Only metal touching the surface. Without letting anyone speak, Bruce takes the same dumbbell with his left hand and repeats the movement. 30, 40, 50 degrees, absolute silence. 70, 80, 90. The arm straightens perfectly horizontal. The dumbbell freezes. Again 5 seconds, 10, 15. This time no one laughs, no one comments. Everyone watches as if witnessing something impossible. When Bruce lowers the weight and returns it to the rack, he turns to the men who had laughed earlier. His gaze is not challenging. There is no provocation, only presence. He extends his hand to the largest of them, offering the dumbbell. The man hesitates, but cannot refuse. Everyone is watching. He takes the weight, sets his body, tries to repeat the movement. The dumbbell rises too fast. 30 degrees, 50, 60. The arm begins to shake. The face twists. He strains, trying to compensate with his torso. The dumbbell almost reaches shoulder level, but does not. The arm gives out. The weight falls. The impact echoes through the gym. Another tries. The result is similar. A third does not even try. He simply raises his hands and laughs awkwardly. Bruce watches. He is silent for a few seconds, then speaks. He says that they are strong, very strong. It is obvious. Muscles move weight, push, pull, explode. But holding is not about muscles. He explains that the body is not made only of fibers that grow quickly, that there are structures that need years to adapt, tendons, ligaments, connective tissue. What cannot be seen in the mirror? He says he has trained every day since adolescence, that he has spent more time holding positions than lifting loads, that functional strength does not impress immediately, but decides everything when a movement must stop exactly at the right point. The men listen. One of them asks, "Can this be learned?" Bruce answers yes, but not quickly, that it is not a week-long or month-long training, that it requires patience, repetitions, humility. He says that strength is not one thing. There is strength to lift, strength to push, strength to resist, strength to control, and confusing them is common. The atmosphere in the gym changes. There is no more laughter, no comments, only genuine curiosity. Bruce takes his bag, thanks them for the space, and walks toward the door. Before leaving, someone calls him by name, without mockery, with respect. Bruce turns, nods, and leaves. The gym returns to its usual noise, but nothing is quite the same. The mirrors reflect the same bodies. The weights remain the same, but confidence has shifted. They have just realized that not all strength is visible, and that sometimes the strongest person in the room is the one who does not look like it. The gym continues to operate in the following days. The same people, the same hours, the same weights. But something invisible settles in the space. It is indirect conversations and gradual changes in training. A quiet unease. The discomfort that arises when someone tries to hold a movement longer than usual, when an arm starts to shake too early, when a weight feels heavier than yesterday. Some begin to notice things they ignored before. Foot placement, how the torso compensates, how much tension goes in the wrong direction. One tries to repeat the exercise with less weight. Another begins holding the barbell for a few seconds before each repetition. Small adjustments. No one admits out loud why. The biggest man, the same one who tried to lift Bruce's dumbbell, comes earlier in the mornings. He trains alone for almost an hour, reduces the weight, increases time under tension, tells no one what he is doing. He does not need to. He knows. After a few days, Bruce returns, not to demonstrate, not to teach officially, just to train. He enters just as quietly, and he is immediately recognized. The atmosphere changes again, but now without laughter, only attention. Bruce begins with simple movements, held positions, supports, control of the body in space. He does not use heavy weights. He uses time. He uses precision. Observers notice that he stops movement exactly at the right point, as if there were an invisible line in the air. He respects this line and never crosses it by inertia. One man approaches and asks how long he can hold that position. Bruce answers that time is not the goal, that the right question is how much control there is in every second, that holding longer than necessary creates dependency, and that true control knows how to stop. They fall silent, reflecting. Bruce speaks little, and when he speaks, he does not lecture. He throws short phrases. He says that strength dependent on speed dies when speed ends, that strength dependent on explosion fails when space is limited, that strength dependent on ego tires first. Someone asks, "Is this related to fighting?" Bruce answers that it is related to everything. Fighting, running, lifting, falling, and getting up are variations of the same task. How the body responds when intention meets resistance. He shows a simple shift, a minimal lateral step, almost imperceptible. He says that this step resolves more confrontations than any strike, that arriving half a second earlier changes the entire story. The biggest man tries to repeat it, mistimes it, arrives late. Bruce corrects him with nothing but a look. Nothing more. The man tries again. The error is smaller. For the first time, he feels he is learning something that is not measured in kilograms. Over the weeks, the gym changes without changing. The mirrors stay. The weights are lifted, but the conversations are different. No longer only about maximum load, but about control, stability, how long a position can be held without shaking. Some become disappointed. They wanted fast results, something to show. They stop trying and return to the familiar. Bruce never interferes. He knows not everyone wants to learn the same thing. Those who stay begin to notice that their joints hurt less. Recovery is faster. Movements that were once unstable become predictable. They do not become bigger. They become more precise. One day, during a quiet training session, someone asks Bruce why he does not talk about this louder, why he does not explain directly, why he does not prove that he is right. Bruce answers that proving is easy. Holding is hard, that those who understand do not need persuasion, and those who do not understand will not be convinced by words. He says there is a difference between showing and revealing. Showing attracts attention. Revealing changes a person from the inside, and that takes time. One afternoon, the biggest man again fails to hold a movement. He releases the weight earlier than planned, closes his eyes, breathes deeply, and smiles. Not out of anger, but realization. He finally understands where he is weak. Bruce watches from a distance, does not correct, does not praise. There is no need. Learning has already happened. When Bruce stops coming to the gym so regularly, no one speaks about it, but everyone feels it. The space seems larger, emptier, and yet something remains. Months later, a new person enters the gym. A large body, confident posture, a gaze assessing the space. He says loudly that everything here seems easy, that he sees no challenge. No one laughs. One of the old members approaches and offers a dumbbell, not heavy, medium, asking only that he hold it in the correct position for as long as he can. The man agrees confidently. The arm rises and stops. Trembling begins early. The smile disappears. The weight lowers sooner than expected. No one comments. No one provokes. Silence teaches. The gym continues to operate without new signs, without slogans, without written rules. But now there's a shared understanding. Strength is not just moving something from one place to another. It is deciding where to stop, when to stop, and holding there. Bruce never speaks of that day again. There is no need. He left behind something that cannot be measured in numbers, something that continues to work even when he is not there. And the men who understood it know they will never look at the mirror the same way again, because now they know the reflection shows only volume. It never shows control. And control, as they learned, is what truly holds everything together.